of Appeal, the Honorable Mr. Justice Brooks, members of the judiciary at all levels, retired judges, members of the Bar Council of the Jamaican Bar Association, specially invited guests, as well including the members of the Constitutional Reform Committee. I welcome you to this auspicious occasion. How fitting is it that on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the Jamaican Bar Association, the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Norman Mandate Law School, that we should be here together in this room at the Norman Mandate Law School to speak about constitutional reform. How likely is it that on the occasion of speaking about matters of constitutional reform, we are able to put together such a stellar panel, one of whom includes the indefatigable and renowned constitutional law scholar, lawyer par excellence, whose constitutional law text, Constitutional Law of Jamaica, has been integral to an understanding of the Constitution of Jamaica by law students, scholars, and politicians without contradiction since it was published in 1978 and has since been republished online on the 16th January 2009 by the Cambridge University Press. I refer to none other than the Honorable Dr. Lloyd Barnett. Unfortunately, the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Bruce Golding, is unavoidably absent. But he too has been a strong believer and has strong views on constitutional reform and republicanism, and it would have been a pleasure to hear from him if he were here. And of course, we have the indomitable and brilliant former leader of the opposition, Dr. Peter Phillips. And I always take license to call him brilliant because I've experienced his brilliance as a student at the University of the West Indies in the faculty while I was doing history and government, where he taught me comparative politics 1. Brilliant, brilliant. I welcome you once again, and as we go through the program, I'm sure you are all excited to be here. In 1962, when constitutional reform, which brought us to where we are today, was being discussed, many of you were perhaps children, and several of us were not yet born, or probably most of us were not yet born. And so this is an exciting time to hear from not only the scholars, but the persons who are themselves engaged in the process. I have to give kudos to the President of the Bar Association and Ms. Aina for collaborating on this very, very important initiative and on this very important subject. So now, without further ado, I ask you to join me in welcoming the President of the Jamaican Bar Association, Mr. Alexander Williams.
Thank you very much, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So, Jamaican Bar Association is celebrating 50 years, having been incorporated in January of 1973. We have several objectives in Jamaican Bar Association, three of which you will see on our website, include striving for the maintenance and strengthening of the rule of law and human rights, working towards law reform and the improvement of our legal system, and fostering basic and continuing legal education. So, that the Bar Association are pleased, honored, and consider it a historic milestone to contribute to nation building in this way in our 50th year. So, the issues that will be discussed today are really up to the panelists. The current state of the Constitutional Reform Committee, or the current deliberations, center and concern Jamaica as a republic, removing the constitutional monarch and replacing it, hopefully, with a president. And secondly, our final court. Final court, which would be an apex court, is supposed to settle on jurisprudence for Jamaica. What do I mean by jurisprudence to all the non-attorneys in the room, and there probably isn't any? So I probably don't need to get into it, but let me get into it nonetheless. It means building up your case law, therefore principles in line with the mores and customs of our country. So it would mean about the jurisprudence. Not talking about what Parliament passes and the statutes. It is what we decide in our common law. And we have an opportunity, here I say it, to take greater control of our jurisprudence by finally determining on our final apex court. Not long from now, the Bar Association will renew, hopefully, its position concerning the apex court at our annual general meeting. There's been some time since we indicated our support for a particular court, and I'm hoping that the membership will continue where we left off. The presenters this evening, I would like to think, will present a balanced view on constitutional reform. Dr. Peter Phillips, Order of the Nation, former leader of the opposition, the Honorable Dr. Lloyd Barnett, OJ, whose credentials are unmatched and unquestioned. And I'd like to remind us all, he's a former president of the Jamaican Bar Association. That which is also unmatched and unquestioned is the relationship between the Jamaican Bar Association and the Norman Manley Law School, particularly in the areas of mentorship for new attorneys, scholarships and bursaries, and continuing legal education through seminars and so on, which includes this public forum. So this event is a joint effort of the Association of the Norman Manley Law School. So permit me to thank the committees of the Bar and the Law School directly responsible for the execution of this event. Constitutional reform has been mooted and discussed in this country since 1977. And what do we have to show for it? Wonderful Bill of Rights in the 1990s. Or rather, 2011. Let us hope and pray this time that this country will achieve with effective education and consultation a complete and comprehensive review of our Constitution for our Jamaican Republic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now at this time, I'll invite the principal of the Norman Manley Law School, Ms. Carla Aina, to give her remarks.
Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Mr. Justice Patrick Brooks, Judges of Appeal and the Supreme Court, our distinguished speakers, Dr. Honorable Barnett, who is such an instrumental part of the Legal Council of Legal Education, and Dr. Peter Phillips. All our distinguished attorneys at law, all our distinguished students and guests, I welcome you all. I think you put in the wrong presentation, Mr. Aziz. But I'm going to go ahead. So I think it's signal that in the 50th anniversary of the Jamaica Bar Association and the Norman Manley Law School, and in fact the Hewlett Law School as well, that in this year, our 50th anniversary, we're having the discussion, significant discussion on constitutional reform. I want to say, in fact, my first slide, which I cannot find based on that, is actually the quote from Shakespeare, "Let's kill all the lawyers." It was Dick the Butcher who said, "Let's kill all the lawyers." And unfortunately, that's been used against lawyers, but it's been misunderstood. What it actually meant was that let's kill all the lawyers because then we will kill those who protect democracy, those who protect the rule of law, those who strengthen the rule of law. So in fact, it was a compliment to lawyers, not in fact meant to be let's kill all the lawyers because they're a nuisance. So here at the law school, we are pleased to be producing lawyers. We are pleased that in this 50th year, the Norman Manley Law School won all the regional competitions. They won the Margaret Fort mock trial competition. They won the Lex Caribbean interviewing competition. They won the CCJ competition for 2 years in succession. So whether or not it is on I'm a born teacher, so it means that I walk up and down the stage because I'm trying to see if my students are engaged. Please excuse me. Whether or not it's on the agenda, Minister, our students are prepared. They're ready. We won the competition 5 times in the 12 years that it's been in existence. And more importantly, 11 times it's been won by the Council of Legal Education Schools, which tells you we are ready. So, and whether or not killing is on the agenda, any kind of killing, we are ready. We've prepared our advocates, we've prepared our students, and they are going to take part in this signal and important debate of constitutional reform. Can you imagine if we killed all the lawyers and Dr. Barnett wasn't here? He's such a significant part of what is happening. He's such a significant part of legal reform, and he has been such a significant part of the Council of Legal Education. And so in our 50th year, to have with us on this day, one of the forerunners in relation to legal education, we are absolutely pleased. And all the panelists either have children, all of them, who are lawyers. And so let's not kill all the lawyers. Let's protect the Constitution, and let us strengthen our Constitution, and let us make sure that in the 50th year of two of the most significant legal institutions, Norman Manley Law School and the Jamaica Bar Association, we can truly say we have come of age. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, I'm Shakira Douglas, and with me is Ms. Zoe Malcolm. We are the co-chairs for the Norman Manley Lecture Series Committee, and we're happy and excited to be here with you all today to experience this very distinguished lecture that I'm pretty sure we're all looking forward to. At this moment, we're going to get right into it. We're going to be introducing the panelists that you will be hearing from today.
So as Principal Aina would have said, what would we do if we killed all the lawyers? Because Dr. Lord Barnett has been an engineer, especially in constitutional law. He holds, the BA, the LLB honors, a master's in law, and a PhD, all from the University of London, and he was admitted to the bar at Lincoln's Inn in December of 1960. He has made several major contributions to the legal field, some of which I'll name because the list is indeed long. He has served as a president of the Jamaica Bar Association, a chairman of the Jamaica Council on Human Rights. He has sat as a member on the Committee of Integrity of Parliamentarians, and he has been a senator in the Jamaican Parliament from 1983 to 1989. He has been awarded in 1999 the Order of Jamaica for his outstanding contribution to jurisprudence and legal education in the Caribbean region. He has been appointed to the Regional Judicial and Legal Services Commission in August 2003 and reappointed in 2010. He has contributed to literary works in writing a book on the constitutional law of Jamaica, as well as the Jamaican Constitution, Basic Law and Facts, and he currently has an active private practice.
So please join us in making Dr. Barnett welcome. All right, next up on the program, we will be hearing from Dr. Peter Phillips. Now, Dr. Peter Phillips is a graduate of the Jamaica College. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Economics as well as a Master's of Science in Government. He also holds a doctorate in International Political Economy from the Birmingham University in New York. You might also be familiar with his political career. He has served as a Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Central. He has also served in a variety of different ministries. So when I tell you you're getting experience and knowledge today, that is indeed true. Dr. Phillips received the 2015 Man of the Year Award by the Gleaner newspaper, bestowed for exemplary public service. He's also a former lecturer in the Department of Government and the Consortium Graduate School at the University of the West Indies, and he has also published extensively on a variety of Caribbean development issues. Please join me in making Dr. Peter Phillips welcome. And we cannot have a discussion or a lecture without somebody to moderate that discussion or lecture. And we have, doing us the pleasure and honor of that today, Mrs. Emily Shields. She is an attorney at law as well as a television host and has had extensive experience in commenting on not only politics but also law, constitutional law being among that. So please join me in welcoming the esteemed, and doesn't she look beautiful? And we have to mention that she's also a graduate of the Norman Manley Law School. So we have to give her another round of applause for that. All right, so from here on out, you will be hearing from Mrs. Shields.
Thank you so much, Ms. Douglas, Ms. Malcolm. Good afternoon, everybody. and welcome to the space that groomed me for so many years. I enjoy the lectures by Miss Anna here, by Ms. Dorcas White, and so many of my other lecturers, so it's good to be back to ground zero. My role this afternoon is really to marshal what will take place here and to act as an umpire of sorts. We do hope to have a very interactive session. Dr. Lloyd Barnett is going to be presenting for 30 minutes. Dr. Peter Phillips will be a bit shorter than that, but I won't confine him to a time. But more importantly, at this specific juncture, where we have a constitutional reform committee in place, recently appointed, and there are several questions, I'm sure that you, the members of the public who are attending, there are some issues, you have some questions you wish to have answered, and who best to answer than one of the two members of the panel here. We also have the minister, who is the co-chair of the Constitutional Reform Committee, and who will be happy to take some of those questions or to make a comment. Also in the audience are members of the Constitutional Reform Committee. I certainly see Hugh Small, a former Minister of Government. I see Donna Scott Motley, Senator, former leader of government business in the Senate, and she remains a senator. So we welcome, after the presentations, your questions, and you will indicate by raising your hands, and I will come to have you ask those questions. I believe Dr. Barnett will commence his presentation. Please give him a round of applause.
Modern technology of holding a mic in my hand while I speak. So I hope you can hear me. Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Minister for Constitutional Affairs, my co-presenter, the Honorable Peter Phillips, President of the Jamaican Bar Association, the Honorable Justice Phillips, colleagues and friends. This subject is one which has existed from the beginning. And I don't think we'll ever come to the end of it. But we should try to make some progress. And the first section of my presentation is on gradualism and the imperatives. In the 1960s, when Jamaica left the West Indies Federation, and we decided to move to independence on our own, our leaders rejected the call, then viewed as radical and impractical, that we should adopt a republican form in place of the European form of government. And then in 1975, the Right Honorable Michael Manley declared his support for replacing the monarchy with a republic. The commission which he established under the chairmanship of the Honorable Cartwright, and on which I served, recommended that we adopt a republican form. And Manley announced, that is my guess, that Jamaica would become a republic by 1981. Nevertheless, when I proposed a resolution in the Jamaica Bar Association in favor of the abolition of the title of Queen's Counsel, it was defeated. One of those who spoke against it was my friend, the Honorable Cartwright. At her inauguration as Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Portia Simpson Miller, in in January 2012, advised that she would move Jamaica to replace the monarchy with a republic, as this was an idea whose time had come. Again, no change materialized. A few years later, I had a letter published in the press in which I warned that if we did not commence the process of constitutional reform promptly, we would end up with our head of state being King Charles III. Quite apart from any personal deficiencies, which may be taken into consideration, the title King Charles, based on the historical record of the first two King Charles, the first being a religious, intolerant, and anti-parliament despot, and the second being of unstable character and the promoter of the slave trade,